What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Thank you so much for being here. Happy equinox to you all. It's Libra season today. It's exciting. I'm always a fan of the season shifting, and I like coming into cardinal energy. It kicks things off, and now we're kicking off relating with the heart here. We got the sun here into Libra. We've done so much work on ourselves during Virgo season in the last 6 months, and I've said that already. But we're done. We're ready to graduate, and now it's about how we start relating that with people, what we have become, what we have found deep within, where we've graduated. Every year, we graduate, we grow, we learn, we gain wisdom. So it's important to remember that it's not just like the last one, it's not just like the last fall equinox, it's a new one. You've come through all these 12 signs to get back to this place of relating and all that stuff within. So, powerful time to use that energy to go out and get the ball rolling with people. We're going to start to see a lot with people. And that's how we justify our beauty in our life, is how we're relating, how we're getting that reflection back. So Libra season's beautiful because we get to start and partner and link up with other people through extremes, through polarities, to come to balance and to come to the justification of what's going to bring beauty into our life. Because Libra is Venus, and it is that essence of the beautiful reflection that other people can bring into our lives. All right, let's look at the chart for today. Libra season, baby, comes in at 12:21 p.m. on the west coast, so 3:21 on the east coast. Kind of a split day, right? We're finishing out Virgo season, half the day, critical day. Today is definitely the most auspicious day in the astrology. Like when I look at the sun changing sign and signs and ingressing here, it's going to be within 5 degrees of Mars, so that conjunction's getting tight. I mean, there's a fire to relate. There's a desire. We want to identify with others. We're looking for a lot of tribe energy, and we have Saturn and Jupiter here in Aquarius, and that sun's really going to start to approach that trine to Saturn. So we're starting to feel these relationships and connections build, and the future that can build towards, and the community that can build towards, and where that harmony lies. It is building up on a harmonious aspect. Mars is only 2 degrees away from Saturn. There's a lot of things that we want to start with people. We could start to find business opportunities, connections, what we can do within our own communities with that North Node in Gemini about our truth. Being able to communicate that. And we are starting to see some grand trine energy with this air. We saw it with Mars, and still kind of there. And the sun's right in that mix too now. And the sun's working on its trine over to the North Node as well. And of course, a sextile to the South Node. So we're at such an auspicious time of relating our truth with people and communicating. There's information everywhere. And now's where we gotta find our middle ground. But we also have to, be the justice system in our life for what that beauty looks like at an individual level, and not forget our identification, not forget who we are. And you know what? I would say that the moon's definitely helping, but the moon is doing quite a lot here in Aries. Of course, we're going to be focused on, our own identification with others, with the moon in Aries, and our personal life of dealing with a lot of our own wants and needs. But we have a T-square to Pluto from Mercury in opposition to that moon today. Just very auspicious, especially getting Mercury's exact square with the moon being exact. I mean, they're going to be dead on at 24. And 24 is a Libran, Venus degree in Christopher Witecki's step astrology. So, it's very interesting to see the transformation of our relationships and the transformation of where things are progressing and starting to move forward with whom we relate to. Now, Venus is, of course, since we're talking about Venus, it's in opposition to Uranus. That's gonna be exact by the end of this 24-hour period. So, woo, I mean, talk about like taking the ladder upwards to relating to people with depth, that show value, loving ourselves, not just relating, especially if it's in a loving matter, like a relationship or, loving matter, like not just surface level, like there's got to be depth to the truth of how we're relating in life right now. It can't be kind of wishy-washy, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've done so much work on ourselves, it's like we got to take our relationships to that next level. And if we're not seeing that within relationships, I mean, a very interesting time. Um, of course, I would say, getting ready for a Mercury retrograde in Libra, Venus opposing Uranus, and then this hard T square that we see today with the Moon to Pluto and Mercury. I mean, there's gonna be big conversations going on within people in relationships, and I would not be surprised to see relationships that just no longer have a mission together. Like, I mean, if are people really gonna stay in that if there's no beauty and balance? You could definitely see, relationships either starting because there's this beautiful depth, and both souls have transformed and found a deeper essence of their own physical world here and their own inner world, and are ready to merge with like-minded energy. Or, I mean, you could be seeing polarity, because remember, Libra season is also extremes of polarity. And people are going to be putting their identification out there. They're going to be putting their voice out there, and they're going to be putting their emotion out there. So this is a very emotional day where people are going to, be strong in their own truth, and I would hope you were strong in your truth and the transformation that that can bring regarding the future of your life and who is part of that mission and that life with you. I mean, these are definitely aspects that could get brought up here on a day like this, but powerful day, very powerful day. Lots of cardinal energy and a cardinal T square, and it's releasing into Cancer. So again, there's a lot of intuition, there's a lot of self-nurturing that needs to be looked at. It can't just all be external stuff. We got to make sure that our own emotional needs and wants are taken care of as we're trying to relate and as we're trying to build, relationships that are built for the long haul here. Because I think a lot of this too is, especially coming off the square with Venus and Saturn, like, this is taking things to the next level, to the future. What does that look like? And are you ready to make it balanced? Or are you ready to act and identify with the relationships and the people in your life that are bringing that justice and taking you, not only taking you, but on your journey to help you progress for your highest growth? And are you there to help someone else progress for their highest growth? And then, of course, that grows the relationship and the bond. So very, interesting. Also, money in the world. That just keeps coming up. I can't look at this chart and not think that crazy stuff is about to go down with money. I know Bitcoin's taking a big hit right now. And Bitcoin has been pretty consistently on a tear with full moons. So interesting to see if that reverses on this, off that full moon today, and or that we had a couple days ago, but that energy going that way. And then with like traditional finances and all the stuff I've talked about with the Mercury retrograde. So fascinating stuff. Definitely sending you my best. Equal day, equal night, equinox. This is definitely a time where we're balancing out a lot in our life. We've done so much inner work, so much growth um, on our own identification, and it's time to definitely hold the line of your truth, hold the line of who you are, and put it out there and relate. And that's where some of the greatest transformations are going to come through. And Mercury, of course, is in the trine to Jupiter. So, don't forget, like, even though it's intense and it can be extreme with people, people are the gift. And not only that, the moon will sextile Jupiter as well. So there's some really nice energy with Jupiter backing things up here. Like, there can be a lot of beauty that we can step into. The abundance is in different ways. It's doing things differently, especially relationships differently with Venus in opposition to Uranus. Like, if we're just going to go through the same patterns that we have been in relationships that didn't work, is that really what's going to bring the best value and love and connection into our lives right now? We got to be like strong in our identification of what we have already learned and found out about ourselves to really relate with the tribe, to relate with like-minded energy into the future. But it's important to focus on the here and the now and be strong in yourself. Be strong in who you are and love yourself. Very important this week. Six of Cups. Yeah, it's an interesting. It almost looked like the Seven of Cups. Six of Cups in reverse. So, of course, this is the card of looking back at the past. I think we want to look into the future. If the past hasn't gone well, we learned a lot from those things. We found out what maybe our emotional triggers are, what doesn't feel good. Usually it's good memories of the past, but let's start building relationships and emotional connections for the future that have that depth, that security, and that bond. Um, and we have to go through extremes to get there, but you know what? It could be beautiful going into that deep water and relating as we're still in a place of having very intense conversations that need to be had to have a better personal life, that are needed to identify with ourselves and relate that to others. Why did we get that card? I'm kind of curious. Well, we have to, because we got the Four Wands in reverse. If we want to have the party and the celebration and the homecoming with people and have all that fun and joy, we got to make sure that we're ushering that in by giving that joy and that excitement to ourselves. That's going to help us bring in that reflection in people or in society that we're looking for in a time where I know it can seem like society's a shit show. And it kind of is. It's just a show. But now it's time to make that show. We're relating to that show more now. We don't have a choice. So we got to get into it to usher in what's going to bring the celebration and not feel like the celebration can't be had. Because if we're not true and we're not deep and we're not being real with people in our truest and most authentic form of ourself that we've come to be at this point, then, what's there to celebrate? It wouldn't be authentic and it wouldn't have that depth. So penetrate into that depth today and, let's kick off the equinox. Let's go get it this winter. I think we got a lot coming, and even this fall, and there can be a lot of beauty. What's coming? Judgment. I don't know why. I just felt like I need to pull another card and ask what's coming. Judgment comes out. This is the resurrection. We're being resurrected to the calling, to the Dharma. I've been saying that for a while. I've been feeling it. This card is good. The trumpet's blazing for us to really come together as a whole conscious collective that's really coming into that play right now. And there's going to be people that aren't going to listen to the call. But the more people that listen to that calling, that'll change everything, and it'll usher in the celebration, it'll usher in the beautiful future that can be had. But it starts with having that sort of warrior mentality here. It's kind of an intense day, but we want to embrace the intensity to bring in the beauty. I like that. I love you all very much. Have a beautiful Wednesday. Happy equinox. Happy Libra season. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace.